Good morning, children. Hope you are all well. Today, we are going to do something very interesting. You are all going to become scientists and you are all going to conduct simple science experiments and also learn to make your own book of science. Isn't that exciting? So let us begin. Before you become scientists, let me first teach you how to write down a simple experiment. So children, this experiment is about lifting ice. Ice means baraf. So tell me children, can you lift up ice without touching or holding it? No, because ice is very slippery. If I give you a string, dhaga, can you lift up ice with that string just by touching the string to the ice? No. So how do we lift up ice using a string? Let's find out. Now children, for this experiment, you will need ice cubes, thread means dhaga, and common salt is your salt which you use for cooking, namak. These are the three things that you require. And the purpose of this experiment is to see how a little bit of salt and a string can lift up an ice cube. So are you ready, children? Let's see how it's done. So this is what you have to do, children. First, you place an ice cube in a dish of water. The ice will float on the water. It will come to the top. Then you take a piece of thread and place it over the ice. After that, you sprinkle some salt on and near the thread on the ice cube. Then you wait for a few seconds. After you have waited, you hold the two ends of the thread and pick them up carefully. Now let's see what happens. So children, this is the way the experiment is conducted. We've taken ice in a dish of water. On top of that ice, we have placed a thread. Then we took some salt and sprinkled it on and around that thread over the ice. After that, you have to wait for some time and then try lifting up the ice with your thread. Now let's see if the ice can be lifted up or no. Can you look at the picture, children? What has happened? The thread has picked up the ice. So we were successful. You can pick up the ice cube with your string. Now children, you can try placing the thread in different ways to lift the ice. You can place just one end of the thread on the ice cube and lift the ice with the other end, just like the picture down. Wasn't that interesting, children? So this was a simple science experiment that we can do at home. Now, children, do you all know why this thing happened? Let me tell you. When you added salt to the ice cube, the salt lowered the melting point of the ice. Salt is in a thin layer, so it melts a thin layer on top of the ice cube. The water cooled down further and refroze around the string. So children, salt melts ice into water. So when you put salt over the thread on the ice, that portion of the ice near the thread melts. And after some time, it freezes again back to ice. So what happens? The thread gets stuck to the ice. And that is why now you can easily pick up the ice with your thread. Wasn't that interesting? Now children, you also need to know where you can apply this in daily life. So children, in foreign countries, during the winter season, they receive a lot of snowfall, because of which their roads get filled with snow, which is nothing but ice. So the roads become very slippery and it becomes dangerous to walk or even for the car to move on that road. So as you can see in the picture, children, you can see there's a truck that is moving. And what are they throwing from that truck? That is salt. So they are sprinkling salt in winter over the roads to stop them from getting icy and slippery. Isn't that interesting? Yes. Now that I have shown you one simple experiment that you could do at home for your activity, I want you to make your own book of science. You may come across simple but amazing science experiments in magazines, newspaper supplements, or on the internet. Collect any 5 to 8 experiments you like. Ask your parents or teachers whether the experiments are safe. Then carry out the experiments. If necessary, take the help of your parents. Record the experiments on separate sheets in your own book of science. So children, now it's your turn to become scientists. First, search for simple experiments by reading books, newspapers, or you can Google it on the internet. Then you make your own notes. But remember children, always ask your parents if you can do the experiment at home. And mostly, when you're doing your experiment, let your parents be with you and help you. And once you've done your experiment, you can click pictures and then make your own book of science. Do this as your home activity, children. Try and find out at least 5 to 8 simple experiments. That was all for today, children. Thank you, and all the best to all you young scientists.